Greetings, Dr. Will here. Welcome back to the serialization of What You Don't Know. Successfully lead a software project without tech expertise. Episode 23, Chapter 10. Will it even work? How will we know? Quality Assurance and Test, Part 1.
All things equal, a better system is better than one that is worse. Axiomatic. But better or worse must be measured against some criteria. Juran defines quality as, quote, product features which meet the needs of customers and thereby provide product satisfaction, or quality consists of freedom from deficiencies, close quote. Crosby defines it simply as, quote, quality means conformance to requirements, close quote. Quality assurance in any enterprise is a program for systematically monitoring and evaluating the various aspects of a project, service, or facility to ensure that the standards of quality are being met. Quality assurance focuses on defect prevention rather than detection and resolution. Quality is not merely goodness or luxury, called the relative worth standard. That makes quality look like gold plating, which reeks of expense with no ROI. But taking the definition of quality as conformance to requirements corrects that error. There are several fallacies about quality. First, quality is intangible and therefore unmeasurable, and what cannot be measured cannot be managed. But it is measured by the cost, the expense of nonconformance. Rework, fixing defects after deployment, and missed schedules and budgets result from nonconformance. Second, there is an economics of quality, namely an organization cannot afford to make things well. But this originates in a short-sighted or narrow point of view. It fails to consider the overall life cycle of the code, even if it is an MVP. Third, all quality problems originate with the worker bees, especially in manufacturing, which doesn't concern us in the software business, so in our case it includes the programmers or coders. But quality processes should permeate the organization. The worst quality problems are those in management because they have the most significant multiplier. Finally, quality originates or is relegated to the quality department. But everybody in the organization is responsible for quality. Everybody has to care. In modern organized, productive organizations, the quality of what is produced has importance relative to other values, for example, cost. If the level of importance is high enough, then at least some resources are allocated to it. Quality in software. A quote from NASA, quote, as anyone who has ever used a computer knows, software is seldom error-free. A statistical average for software used in critical systems, flight control, air traffic control, etc., shows that programs average 10 to 12 errors for every 1,000 lines of software code. This was clearly unacceptable to NASA for use in the space shuttle. As a result, NASA forced one of the most stringent test and verification processes ever undertaken on IBM for the primary avionics system software, PASS. The result achieved by the 300 IBM programmers, analysts, engineers, and subcontractors was impressive. An analysis accomplished after the Challenger accident showed that the IBM-developed PASS software had a latent defect rate of just 0.11 errors per 1,000 lines of code. For all intents and purposes, it was considered error-free. But this remarkable achievement did not come easily or cheap. In an industry where the average line of code cost the government, at the time of the report, approximately $50, written, documented, and tested. The primary avionics system software cost NASA slightly over $1,000 per line. A total of $500 million was paid to IBM for the initial development and support of PASS. Close quote. Formally, IEEE defines quality as the degree to which a system, component, or process meets specified requirements or the degree to which they meet customer or user needs or expectations. It is the capability of the software product to satisfy stated and implied needs under specified conditions. The standard for quality then is how well the item meets requirements. There is no way to assure the quality of an item without tracking and managing its requirements. The requirements may be essentially market-driven, that is, the customer is the final arbiter of quality. But who is the customer? It is a narrow view of the system to consider only the end user as the customer. A broader view considers other stakeholders. To deliver maximum stakeholder value, the stakeholders need to be identified. Achieving excellent levels of, quote, fitness for use, close quote, means delivering maximum stakeholder value while balancing the constraints of development cost and schedule. The core software quality assurance elements that improve the quality of software being built include a quality management approach, effective use of software engineering technology, formal technical reviews, a multi-tiered testing strategy, documentation control, compliance with software development standards, and measurement and reporting. Agile quality. In Agile methods, quality is said to be the team's responsibility. It is essential to ensure that, quote, everybody's business, close quote, does not therefore become, quote, nobody's business, close quote. The diffusion of responsibility is the bane of every committee ever formed. The Agile quality concept, if attained, is a realization that everybody should care about quality, not just the QA person or department. Beyond merely caring about quality, the team needs to have the quality processes defined, internalized, and executed. Quality is supposed to be organic in Agile methods. The stated purpose of Agile is to produce high-quality working software that meets customer expectations while actually, working. This should work out well as long as the concept of customer is sufficiently broad, including all important stakeholders, not just the end user. A quote from Standish Group, quote, if you are doing Agile correctly, about 50% of the cost of the project will be in quality control. On the other hand, the cost of the project will be 50% of the cost of a similar project using waterfall or other methodologies, close quote. In Agile methods, quality should be proactive and built into the product. The team should prevent defects from occurring and not think of quality as an afterthought. That should mean that the team uses effective review processes. High-performing Agile teams work to ensure that defects are prevented as early as possible in the process. On the other hand, average or below average performing Agile teams will not be as effective as the high-performing teams, by definition. Note that the odds of having a below average team are as good as having a high-performing team. Most likely then is having an average or worse team. Agile teams are supposed to test early and often rather than waiting until the last minute. This does carry some risk in the less than high-performing teams who view testing as the primary or only quality strategy. At their best, Agile methods can be commended for having a good chance of fostering a culture of quality in a development organization. Culture of quality. Quote from Harvard Business Review. An environment in which employees not only follow quality guidelines, but also consistently see others taking quality-focused actions, hear others talking about quality, and feel quality all around them. Close quote.
That ends Chapter 10. Will it even work? How will we know? Quality Assurance and Test, Part 1. Join us next time for Episode 24, Part 2 of Chapter 10. That's it for me, for you for now. Be careful out there. Bye.